I don't know how many business owners and sales reps appreciate the usefulness of premeditatively thinking about or creating the emails, pitches, or templatizing it, especially when at the end of it all, you're trying to make a sale. So it's critical, right? You're not wasting time talking to people for no reason. You're trying to make a sale. So why not templatize it? Because if you think about it, if you're a business owner or a sales rep, how many emails do you send out? How many of them are in some way or form trying to pitch somebody, right? You're always in the mode to pitch, right? If you're writing things differently every single day, every single time, nothing gets measured, nothing gets set in stone and then compared. You can't test things out. Therefore, you can't improve. Your emails, sales, pitching cannot improve. And that's a problem if you're a business owner, right? So let's fix that. So the point where you pitch somebody usually comes about like this. It's either you're a business owner or sales rep who's met somebody in person and exchange details and then decides to start pitching to them. It's either that, or you've hopped on a call with somebody and you're going to pitch them after the call. Or it's a referral. Somebody's referred to you, put you in the email, and you get introduced to somebody, and then you have to pitch them after that. And the third scenario is you scrape the person's details raw and you're going to cold pitch them. Okay, so as a business owner or sales rep, you're running around like this, you're collecting a lot of prospects, and the way you pitch to them is going to change depending on how you met them, how you engage with them, and what preceded the pitch. So how that would work is if you met somebody in person and you're trying to email them after, you'd obviously want to reintroduce yourself, remind them where you met them, remind them of the discussion you had, and give them some more information that could nurture them and lead them towards booking a call. Your goal is to book a call. So you're pitching with that purpose in mind, right? And they're slightly warm, but then they're not cold. They're slightly warm, but they're not fully like warm. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't waste their time. It has to be short. When you pitch them after the first meeting, it has to be immediately clear the benefit or what the benefit of interacting with you is, right? So let's say you get them on a call, then your pitch is more on the lines of, okay, we've had the call, now let's move you further along, right? So you'd be outlining agreed upon terms that you had in the discussion. You would be outlining next steps and generally trying to remove any doubts and remove any obstacles to the deal being closed, right? Then the third way is cold outreach, right? So you scrape their emails from somewhere, you bought it from somewhere. You'd be pitching with the intent of immediately proving that you're worth being paid attention to. So you need to address something, you need to create some sort of frictionless action or frictionless offer, something that's easy to get into right now because they're only going to give you this one chance, right? So your email pitching has to be framed in that way, very intentional, very immediate. You're trying to solve a problem immediately, trying to be very benefit driven and personalized, right? So since your email pitches are going to be varying forms of this, let's go over the type of copy rules and best practices you should follow in order to make sure these pitches go well. And then once you set them in stone, you'll be able to automate these things and refine these things over time and improve the outcome of your pitching process, right? So let's go over those. First of all, before you do anything, you want to get your basics right. What are your basics? It's your list hygiene and deliverability. I have a video on this on the channel where I talk in detail about how deliverability works and what list hygiene is, but basically you want to make sure your stuff gets delivered. If nothing gets in the inbox, nobody's going to read it. You're not pitching to nobody, right? So you got to get that in check. Make sure your sender reputation is intact, your sender reputation is good. Clean your list. You don't want to be sending emails to dud addresses because that means you're sending spam signals, right? You're sending a signal to the email service provider that you don't know what you're doing. All right, so you want to first get that in order before anything happens. So broadly speaking, you want to be also value focused in the content that you're putting out there, right? What that means is you want to lead with something valuable for them to consume and make it a habit so that when you ask for the sale, It doesn't come out of the blue. You want to prove that you can be trusted and you have authority. What does value focus mean? Well, my brother has put out a course that you can take called Dirty Content Marketing. I'm going to put the link in the description. That might help you get ideas on editorial and content. But what I'd also suggest is understand that at the end, you're trying to get the deal closed. And you want to work backwards from there to understand everything that stops the deal from happening, and then build content around that, right? The content also has to be in alignment with what your sales agents are doing and saying. So you got to consult with them, get the big picture of how everything's supposed to go down, work backwards from there, and build value-focused content so that in the end, when the pitch comes to them, at least they don't think you're just random. It doesn't feel cold in that sense. You've proven trust, you've proven authority, all that good stuff. And then with being value focused in mind, you want to write good emails. We also have a course on this that can help you. It's called Profitable AF Emails. My brother's made it. I've taken it. It's very helpful. You'll get advice like be concise. If your email's longer than 300 words, it's too long. Be less than 300 words, right? And even your paragraphs, make sure your paragraphs are concise and short. And then you also want to personalize. Personalize doesn't just mean knowing their name. Hey John, it's not just that. It's also timing and relevance of the subject matter. If you know enough about the person you're reaching out to, you'll be able to tailor the messaging to them. And that's what you need to aim to do. Even in your subject lines, not just the body content. The Profitable AF email course has a nice little formula you can use to construct subject lines. You want to be personal in the subject lines, make it relevant, make it impactful, and you want to test out multiple subject lines. You want to also test out the body content too. But right now, what I'm saying is incorporate personalization in the copy as well as the subject line. Then in the copy, in the body copy, you also want to look into the known copywriting frameworks. These are famous: AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action. You can use the PASS framework: problem, agitate, solve, problem, agitate, solution, things like that. Organize your copy using these frameworks because they're going to help you break down what you're saying into parts that can be refined later, right? The copy means every single part of the body can be replaced with another copy that has worked in the past. I don't know if you understand what I mean, because basically what they've done is copywriting is you break down what you're writing into parts and then interchange things to see what works. Use the frameworks is what I'm saying. It's going to help you arrive at this point where you can like modularly fit in different pieces of different mechanisms, different persuasive mechanisms, tools, whatever it is. You can switch them in and out and arrive at a good piece of copy. So use those frameworks. Then when you're writing, you also want to be you-focused. Now, avoid talking about the self, avoid talking about we, the company. Always frame things in the perspective of them. You will feel this, you will feel that, right? When you think you-focused, you'll arrive also at this concept of being benefit-focused. So you're always stating how it benefits people. So being you-focused and benefit-focused in your writing helps with the persuasion. And when you're being benefit-focused, its impact is improved by using stats, proof, testimonials, etc., etc. So wherever you can, put all that into the copy as well. Be you-focused, be benefit-focused. And then also at the end, there's always some sort of call to action, right? The key to the writing of these things is to propose something that's frictionless. Frictionless is good. Frictionless is when you ask them to do something that requires the least friction. It's not just about booking a call. The process of booking a call should be easy. The prospect of getting on a call with you should not seem intimidating. All of that needs to be incorporated in the writing. Frictionlessness needs to be there. It greases the wheels. It allows the pitch to land. It allows things to be persuasive. And then with the follow-ups, after you've pitched them, you obviously want to follow up, right? So you don't want to just be doing this thing by like, hey, did you get my last email? What do you think? You want to be more intentional. So what works here is you not only follow up, but you add more to the table. You bring more value. So that means the follow-up is welcome. It will be received well. It won't seem like it'll seem like less of an annoyance. So relevant information, more value being added when you follow up. Also, timeliness can be a factor. If you can track how they're moving and operating in other spaces, you can maybe trigger an email. Hey, I saw you visit our page and do this and that. would you like to XYZ? Book a call, right? You want a sales page, you want a revenue calculator, you were messing around with it, maybe you're interested in talking to us. Follow up based on that. So there's a triggered thing too that can help. Your follow-ups have to be intentional, timed, and relevant. So that's really all there is to it. Apply the copywriting principles. I'm not going to show you examples of how to write. You can write in so many ways. The point is for you to apply the principles, figure out what works and test it. So you can write it yourself, and that depends on how good you are as a writer. For this to really be good, you have to study copywriting. There are copywriters, when they write, you just sink into what they're saying. You don't even know you're being sold to. You end up being sold to, right? So there's people who study this stuff. You can hire people like us to do it for you. Write all the sequences you can think of, sequence it up, automate it up, and then run it, and then get feedback on it. It's important to test things out and try different things. This is an ongoing process, because what you're trying to do is discover the right combination of things to say that will become how you pitch from here on out, and it can change, but generally you'll have a framework of how you're going to pitch. That's what you're going to templatize and then hand out to other people in your team, or just use it yourself. It makes things a lot easier. Whenever you have to pitch, you can just refer to your files and say, oh, this is what I'm going to say. Do copy paste, change the name, you're done. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's really what it is. This has been a Dropkick Copy YouTube channel video. Watch out for the other videos I have on cold email and how to increase email sales generally. But till the next one, take it easy.